have an issue, no need to grab a tissue. Just ask licensed therapist Donnie Van Kuren for some advice. Welcome to the show. Do you know how to mend a relationship between a boy and his mom? Because I may need some help with that.
That wasn't on my questions. Okay? It's a whole other issue. We'll have to get into that separately.
Okay. That may take hours. You don't have time for that this
book
time.
an appointment.
I'll book a day.
Or a week.
Yeah.
Well, our first question comes from Greg in Oklahoma City. He says, what do you think about couples sharing Facebook accounts? I'm seeing a lot of couples doing this.
Yeah, you know, this is a great idea, and I think Greg has a good idea when it comes to this. It encourages accountability. You know, a lot of times we've got a lot of things going on, and a lot of people can get into our relationships and us not even know it at times. So I like this. It builds trust. It's protective. It's proactive. I don't think it's a must, but there are a lot of couples that it allows them to just build a degree of trust in their relationship and have that exposure, and I think it can be a very positive thing.
This is why I can't be in a relationship. I would have said, what are you, crazy? Really? A joint account? But really, that is a good thing?
It can be a good thing. I wouldn't say it's necessary for everybody, but there's a lot of couples that get a lot of benefits over having it.
Yeah.
I would say it's not something everybody does, but like I said, it has benefits to it. Not a must, but I think it can be good for the right couple in the right situation.
Okay.
So if you have separate Facebook accounts, is it fair that each one should be open to the other, that I should be able to check his and he should be able to check mine?
I think it is. If we push it and we're prodding and we're getting into their side of the thing, it can cause problems.
Yeah.
But when I allow my wife to say, hey, whatever you want, it opens up the doors to a better intimate relationship.
Facebook seems like it brings a lot of mistrust among people and among couples, and I know it's a problem sometimes. So.
It definitely can, and something like this can help that.
Okay. Well, here's the next one. This is from Matthew in Yukon. My girlfriend and I are moving to a new city out of state, and we don't know many people there. What advice do you have for us as a couple?
You know, Matthew, I love this question because when I got married, the week after I got married, I moved to Tampa, Florida, and didn't know a soul. And I like to see young couples, regardless of where they're at, have that opportunity because you have to rely on each other.
Yeah.
So the first thing I would say is, Matthew, make sure you're working together and you're communicating. Rely on each other. It can build a stronger bond than people that don't have this opportunity. But at the same time, find those opportunities to build relationships. That could be a church. That could be a gymnasium. That could be some hobbies, because you want to spread out and have your friends and her friends and couple friends, but at the same time you've got to go out and do that. They're not just going to come to you, but it is a great opportunity to grow as a couple.
Okay, there you go. It's a good thing.
It is. Oh, yeah. I love moving to different places.
Yeah,
it's fun.
You've moved all over the place. Okay, Anna in Oklahoma City says, my fiance is about to buy a boat, and we really don't have the money on our budget. Should I try to talk him out of it? What do I do? Midlife crisis, maybe? I don't know.
Well, this one, you know, money is such a big issue in couples.
Yeah.
It's part of the big ones that pull us apart. So you want to be careful about this one because this can cause problems at the beginning of a relationship as a fiance. But at the other time, I'd be real careful of, do I want to talk him out of it? Because you can have an agenda. He's going to see that agenda coming and he's going to put a block right there. So communicate with him, be honest, you know, listen to his side of the story. You know, there might be a situation where you can collaborate and find a middle ground, like we wait a little bit or we give it some time or we go ahead and do that, but do it at a certain budget. But remember, he probably needs to feel like he's leading. He needs to feel like he has respect. So if you go in and say, we don't need to do this, you're telling him why, you're telling him money, that's going to cause a dilemma that's probably bigger than the money issue.
How do you do that? You know, when you're married, it seems like you're more of a team. But before that, your fiance, obviously you're still very connected, or maybe you just have never gotten married, been together for a while.
Right.
Is it harder to set down ground rules in terms of spending money that way?
It really is, because you haven't built that.
Yeah.
You know, you haven't built that safety and that relationship that allows you to do that. So you've got to be very careful. You've got to realize that we don't want to make the issue bigger than the relationship. So you've got to tread lightly. Sometimes that means buying a boat. But at the same time, you've got to recognize both sides of the coin and listen to each other, communicate. Be careful about that, because you're right, you don't have that invested time yet to where you can go there.
Okay. Well, here's the next one. This is the last one. This is from Bethany and Edmond. How do you rebuild trust in a relationship after it's been lost? Wow.
Yeah. Bethany, I see this a lot. You know, I really see this a lot, and it's tough. The first thing I'd say is time. You can't rebuild trust quickly. We'd love to. You know, I messed up. Let me hit a button, reset. That doesn't happen. So first of all, you've got to give it some time. Secondly, what I'd tell Bethany is communicate honestly. You know, whatever that trust issue is for the person that lost the trust, they need to communicate and be very good on the little and big things of doing what they said they'd do. So if I say, listen, I'm going to take out the trash. Well, when I don't do that, it may not be a big thing, but it's still a trust thing. it's still an honesty thing. So we have to make the little and the big things big. And to do that over time, be consistent and communicate and do what you say you're going to do. But it's tough. It takes a long time. That's the hardest part when I deal with couples is that when you fracture that trust, don't expect it to come back quickly.
Okay.
Time heals all wounds. Isn't that the quote?
Yes, I believe that is.
Yeah, I don't know. I pull random stuff out. Thanks,
I like
Johnny.
it. It works.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good
We
job.
Check
appreciate
Johnny
you
out
coming in.
counseling1820.com. Coming up, one of our favorite musical guests is here.
That's right. Allie Loren will be performing on our live stage. It's next.